Okay, now I'm ready. Like, what did I even do?
Welcome back.
Wait, start over.
Welcome back to Dumb and Broke. My name's Chelsea.
And I'm Bryan. And I'm ready. I'm actually ready right now.
Okay, we're doing it. We're in.
You like are always, you just like sit down and you're like, okay, turn the camera on, lights, camera, action. I'm like fidgeting nothing, like literally doing nothing, but like it makes me feel like
It's your process.
Yeah.
We all have our process.
yeah, I guess, yeah. I'm more of a prima donna. Shocker.
Yeah. I will just watch back the video sometime and be like, oh my God, I wish I would have changed my hand placement here. Or like sometimes I feel like I'm just like so cash. And I'm just like, Chelsea, get it together. Be a lady.
It's such a casual place here.
It is a casual place.
And you're back so soon. It's like we were just here
We were.
48 hours ago.
We were.
Yeah. We were.
Wow. We have so much to talk about too.
Yeah, we were like, get back over. We have to, breaking news.
Now I'm like, what can we say?
Yeah.
We have breaking news about. Say it. Say it. Say it.
I'm in my cooking era.
Oh my gosh, I love that for you. I
Right?
didn't even know that.
Yeah, so like I kind of gave up on the factor meals. I did it for kind of a long time, for a few months, I would say. They were good. I just was like, I don't know, I was just kind of getting sick of them. And you know, on TikTok, I always see like easy recipes, and I was like, you know what, I can do that. So I started doing it. Like I'm on like week 2, and it's been fun.
What have you made?
Last night I made like a spicy spaghetti and meatballs.
Ooh.
Like, I mean, my version of cooking isn't like, I'm not making my own sauce. Like I got a sauce out
I
of a
wasn't
jar.
expecting that from an easy to make TikTok video.
Oh, right, okay. So yeah, like the meatballs were like pre-seasoned, pre-rolled, you know what I mean? But you know, I boiled the water, put the pasta in, threw the sauce in. After I drained the pasta, of course. I do know what I'm doing.
Okay, great.
And then, yeah, I made some meatballs and it was good.
You know what pisses me off? It pisses me off when I see one of those easy to make meals and it like they're like making their own pasta, putting the egg and the flour and then running it through the thing. And I'm just like, you've lost me.
Yeah.
This is not an
Like,
easy to make meal.
You're trolling me. As soon as when they start out the video and they're like, a simple 5-step meal, and they whip out an onion and start chopping an onion. Nope, you lost me.
What about, do you ever look at recipes on Pinterest?
I've never had a Pinterest account in my life.
Oh my gosh, I love Pinterest. Still to this day. Love it.
Is this still a thing?
I don't know. There's another thing that has come up called Lemon that I think is trying to mimic it. I have both, but I always go to Pinterest first.
Okay. What's the difference between like a Pinterest and Instagram? Isn't Pinterest like photos?
Yeah, but it's it's more like inspiration. I feel like Instagram is hard for me to find exactly what I'm looking for.
Do you like, is there like a feed and you follow people and you like their stuff, or is it not like that?
No.
Okay. I don't know.
It's not social media, I don't think. I mean, I guess it can be because people like share their stuff and want you to reshare it, but I just go and I like save pins into different tabs. Like right now, I would say my biggest tabs are outfits, any kind of like home decor, and you can shop a lot of things from Pinterest,
Like directly on.
yeah.
Okay.
Or it'll show you like if you click on something, it'll say more like this, and it will show you a bunch of different options. Home decor, and then I do a lot of like tattoos on there, like tattoo ideas.
Oh. Yeah, people always like say like, oh yeah, I found this on Pinterest. I just never had any interest in Pinterest.
But some of those you'll go to recipes. I used to look at a lot of recipes. I haven't cooked in a while, but I used to look at a lot of recipes, and it will take you to somebody's blog. And I've seen some memes about this recently, but have you ever clicked on like a blog recipe and it will tell you this easy recipe, and then you go through 12 paragraphs of their life story of why this recipe is important to them before they get to the actual recipe?
Yeah.
Yeah. and I'm just scrolling through. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to make the best mac and cheese your grandma's ever gave us. So.
My late grandma who died in World War II.
Right. Get to the ingredients. Yeah. Is it more than 5? Yeah. I also went grocery shopping for the first time yesterday. Ever. In such a long time, though.
Yeah.
For those of you that were concerned when I talked about how much I Uber Eats, I've cut out Uber Eats.
Yeah.
For the most part.
How was grocery shopping?
It was
because I don't go to a grocery store. I've been going grocery shopping, but I use Amazon Fresh.
It's overwhelming. I think it's one of the places I feel the most insecure.
That I was going to ask you because you posted on your Instagram story last night, and I wanted to talk about that because like I feel like people don't talk about that enough. Being in the grocery store is like kind of intimidating.
It's not a safe space.
Yeah. Why? I
feel like I kind of feel this way at the farmer's market too.
Oh yeah.
Although the farmer's market feels it's like a wholesome place. You're like happy to be there because it's a farmer's market vibe. But I have never bought anything other than like a pastry or a coffee from a farmer's market because I'm just like I don't know what to get. I'm also a single person. What am I going to do with 12 tomatoes? So I think I'm just not, I think it's definitely an insecurity of like, I don't cook enough and I don't feel like I know what I'm doing. And I feel like everyone around me knows what they're doing. Yeah. So I'm like impeding in their space. And the grocery store, which I usually go to, Trader Joe's, is just always fully packed.
Yeah.
So that's stressful in itself. And sometimes I'll go in with a list, but then if I go through all the aisles with my list and I'm missing something and I have to go back to another aisle, that's just like it's a whole other thing. And I never make it out with everything that I need. And it always takes more bags than I feel like I can get home with on my scooter. So yeah.
No, I feel you. I feel like, and that's probably why I use Amazon Fresh and don't go to a grocery store, because every time I'm there, I like look around and I'm just like, everyone is just like so confident. Like they're in like the produce section. They like rip the bag perfectly. They're like looking at like their fruit. I'm like, I wouldn't even know what I'm looking for. And like, that's another thing. Like I can only get like, when I use Amazon Fresh, like a minimum of 2 tomatoes. But like by the time I'm ready to use the second tomato, it's already bad because I'm one person. I'm just like, this is too much. And that's probably why I use one of those like meal prep services, because it's like, you know, perfectly done for you. But I'm finding it slightly cheaper than, actually a lot cheaper than my meal prep services. So I guess I can waste a little bit of food here and there. But I have a confession. I think I've only been into a Trader Joe's once in like a very brief moment. And like, I think I bought like shampoo.
I think that's fair. I post something when I first moved here that maybe people remember and I should probably address. And I fully trashed Trader Joe's. I was like, what do you people get? First of all, there's not really like I wish there was a Trader Joe's website where I could just go and look at all the things that they have, because there isn't. In Trader Joe's, it's all Trader Joe's specific. So it's not like normal things that you would find in a grocery store. Yeah. So I'm going in I'm already stressed enough going into any regular grocery store, let alone going into a grocery store that has a cult following that I don't know what anything is. So I have to just look around and browse and figure out what I want.
Yeah. It's just a bunch of snacks.
Kind of.
Frozen food, snack. I mean, what do I know? I've only been once.
However, it has really grown on me. Because one, it is considerably cheaper.
Cheap. That's what I hear.
But it's not like Aldi. Not that there's anything wrong with Aldi. I just feel like, or like Walmart groceries. Yeah. It's like really quality stuff that it's just less expensive because I don't use marketing.
Right.
Which I would appreciate the marketing. If you could create a website, that would be great. Or do delivery. That would be amazing. I'd pay extra.
Why don't they do that yet?
Why don't they do that?
But yeah, so I've been proud of myself for cooking. Like that's the thing. Like I feel like cooking for yourself, it's like rewarding almost. Like look what I did for myself. And then afterwards you're like, look what I have to clean all by myself. And that's like because like it takes me like 30, 40 minutes to cook, 5 minutes to devour it, and then another like 20 minutes cleaning.
Can I tell you, I don't hate doing dishes.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have it? But you have a dishwasher, don't you?
I do, but I don't really use it a lot.
Really?
I think being with roommates, I got into a habit of just washing my dishes immediately after I use them, that I have just stayed in that habit. And again, I just don't cook a lot.
You know, I think this is kind of like, I think it's slightly a millennial thing or just like the way you grew up, because I was never a dishwasher household. Like even we had dishwashers and like we just like hand washed all of our dishes, and that kind of, and then like my first few apartments when I was like, you know, in college and stuff, I don't remember if we had dishwashers, but I remember just like hand washing. It wasn't until like very recently that I would use dishwashers. And by very recently, I mean like not very recently, but because since I've been in New York, I haven't had a dishwasher, I don't think. My later years in Florida, I would use a dishwasher, but now that I don't have one, it's fine. I don't mind, but I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know, but as you were talking, I was thinking about my parents listening to this, and they're probably laughing their ass off right now because I hated doing dishes when I lived at home. But I also was in an 8-person family that cooked. So like when we cooked, there was too much to go in the dishwasher.
I couldn't imagine, because just cooking for myself, my freaking sink goes like overboard. So for 8 people, I couldn't even
8 plates, silverware, cups, pots, pans. You gotta put the leftovers back. I didn't want any part of it.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're right. I can't. Ugh.
So mom and dad, it's different now.
But yeah. Anyways, this made me think last night. I was in bed with my cute little like white lights, reading my little book, and I have these moments randomly where I'm like, I like look around at my little studio apartment, and I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to say like I'm proud of myself. Like, look what you did. Like, because I find myself complaining a lot as well. Like I'm a big complainer, and like I'm always like, what's next? Like the grass is always greener. What's my next move? And sometimes I forget to just like stop and be like, this right here was like, in high school, this was my dream. You know what I mean? It's not like the end and be all. Is that a saying? End and be all?
End all be all.
End all be all. End all be all. But like, I should be like grateful. And I am, because this literally, like I am living my dream that I had before.
I've thought about this, and this kind of fucked me up one time thinking about, it was probably a TikTok video that sparked it, but it was like, what would your younger self think of you right now? And I'm like looking around my apartment, and I think this was even when I was in my old apartment with roommates, and I was just like, she would think I was so fucking cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, even though like my apartment isn't like luxurious at all, it's a very standard apartment for New York City. But I think even that, like I think in high school me, like this is kind of what I like envisioned. I think me now like aspires for bigger, but like there was a big chunk of my life where this is exactly what I wanted and what I envisioned for myself. You know, just like kind of hustling and like, you know, having like a small little quaint apartment and just, you know, living.
We're young, fun, we're making it.
You know, being like slightly reckless, but, you know, just like having good times and yeah, just being young, dumb, and broke. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
This is what I always envisioned, and I like.
This is it. We're doing it.
I'm saying this all just to like continue to remind myself that like life is good, like, you know, and unfortunately not a lot of people can say that, you know, like I think about like all the people that like are stuck in think about all the people stuck in our hometowns, and like, you know, maybe, and some of them I'm sure love it, some probably don't.
I had a guy message me, which I highly doubt that he listens to this, but I won't say his name anyway. But he messaged me. I didn't really know him super well. He was like from the town over, which small town, still population like 600 people. But sent me a message. I didn't know him very well. He like dated a girl on my basketball team or something. And he was just like, hey, it looks like you are, really loving your life in New York. I really wish that I was able to do something like that. It's really inspiring and all this stuff. And I was just like, wow, thanks.
That doesn't that feel so good? That's awesome.
It does feel good, but it also just like wants to make you, I want to be able to like tell everyone like,
do it.
But like you can
do it.
Do it. Just do it.
No, you're right. I get that too a lot. Like I'll have, of course my friends, will hype me up, but then it's like those random people that you haven't talked to in 10 years, or you just like don't really talk too much. And they like, jump in your story and they say, I've gotten New York suits you well from a handful of people. And I'm like, I love hearing that because it's like, it's so easy just to like be home on like a Tuesday night eating your TV dinner and think like, meh,
Right.
But other
people. Or
people.
just the day-to-day, the mundane, I go to work.
Right. Meanwhile, you never know how other people view you. And not that you should care necessarily, but it is nice. And like they also did not have to go out of their way and say that.
Right.
But to your point, I think a lot of people are scared to move to a big city.
Well, yeah, fear is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Well, and you even kind of we've talked about on another episode where you're like, I don't think I could just uproot my life and go to, and you were talking about like a foreign country, I think.
Like for traveling or for moving.
Just like travel and go.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere, like uproot your life and just go. But I feel like that feels like the same scenario for some people that they'd just be uprooting. I've been very fortunate to be in a family that's always been like very open, maybe a little too open at times, but just kind of like do whatever you want. Like, life's short. So
what do you mean by that? Because I feel like that could be taken. That could have been taken really wrong, and you're from the South, so.
My parents, like when I was in high school, it's like, yeah, if you're gonna do drugs, might as well just do them here, kind of things.
Same.
It's safe and open.
Okay.
Safe and open. But yeah, so I can't relate to anyone who like has people really close to them that would put them down for having a dream like that or for wanting to do something like that. So I know that can be another added level.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to help you there, but I still think you should just do it.
Yeah, I feel especially if you have like nothing holding you back, if you're like not married or in a relationship, you don't have kids, like if you don't have, I don't know, like depending on your job, most jobs now, like you can do a lot of it remote, convince your job to let you work remote full time.
Or like New York has everything.
Yeah.
You don't have to just come to New York, but if you wanted to go to like literally any major city, you can do whatever you want.
Or get a new job. Like, I just feel like it's not as hard or scary as people think it is.
Yeah.
But
it's intimidating, but you can do it.
Yeah.
And it's so freaking worth it. Being where you want to be and doing something that makes you somewhat happy, or being around opportunities that could potentially make you happy. I think there's just like nothing better.
Yeah. I do think moving here was one of the best decisions of my life.
Oh, 100%.
You think that? You think so too?
Easily.
Yeah. You've said this is like your favorite place that you ever lived.
Yeah. I've lived in Colorado, Tennessee, and Texas.
Yeah.
And then here. And I just like, I never lived in any of those places and was like, oh yeah, I could be here for a really long time. It was like, I felt like I was trying to make it work, trying to find my place there.
You knew it was like temporary, kind of?
Kind of. Or like I would get there in a year in, I would be like, okay, where to next?
Yeah.
And then here I am almost 2 years in and I'm still like, I could be here forever.
Yeah.
I think if I was to find love and it was maybe somebody that lived in Texas or somebody that wanted to ultimately relocate somewhere else to create a family, I would have a really hard time. I feel like that would be a choice for me, would be to choose between someone that I loved in that life or living in New York. Because I love New York.
Yeah. I do too. And I don't know, maybe I'm about to like contradict what I like the whole sentiment of like the last 10 minutes of like, Bryan, this is exactly what you dreamed of for so long. But I'm also just like, I'm open to whatever because like I have no baggage. Like I can like if some amazing opportunity like brought me to Amsterdam, I would move there tomorrow. I think
Europe would be the only Europe is the only next step.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some cities in the United States that I would be definitely open to moving to, and but I also think a big part of that, to your point, is love, because I'm having such a horrible time and like bad luck in that department.
It is.
The rest of my life is thriving. Work's going well, social life is going well, but love is it's almost it feels like it's impossible to find here.
I don't disagree with you. As someone who has not found love in New York, but I think there's still something, and you've been here for longer than me, so maybe I'm not like fully jaded on it, or I'm just like delusional in the thought that like there's still just so many people that there's so many opportunities. Like I'm coming from a place, I lived in the town outside of my hometown in Texas for almost 20 years of my life. And for me, like I felt like I knew every single man that lived in that town. I knew all of their baggage. I knew everything they brought to the table. And so dating was really hard because of that. So here, I'm like, while every guy I'm meeting is a loser, they're not losers. I shouldn't say that, but
some of them are.
Some of them maybe. But there's always going to be another guy. There's always going to be another guy.
Yeah. There's almost too many here.
I know. And I think that's probably part of the problem for both sides is there's too many options, so it's hard for anyone to commit to anything.
Anytime I like bring this up to like people, to my friends that live like in Florida or anywhere else but New York City, they're like, how are you having a difficult time? There's so many options. And I've said this so many times. I'm like, yeah, I think that's exactly the problem. Maybe I need to move to a place like Abilene, Texas, where there's probably 4 gay men total, and that way you have to like one of them has to pick me. You know what I mean?
Who else are you going to pick?
You know how it's slim picking over here, okay?
Right.
But yeah, that's also, I think, a problem of mine is like, I'm like, who's going to like me? And I should be focusing on like,
who are you going to like?
Who am I going to like?
Who is deserving of your time?
Which, I don't know. Then I'm swiping on the apps and I'm just like, ew, gross, monster, ogre, puke. Like, it's so bad. I'm the problem.
Yeah, we need to find people in real life. Maybe we'll find them at the grocery store.
Yeah, maybe I should. Let's go to Trader Joe's together.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would, I think, maybe less stressful for me.
You know what I need to do this week as well? So I'm watching our friend Tegan's dog. I'm not watching our friend Tegan. I'm watching her dog. And I need to like go to the park by myself.
Yes.
Sit in the grass.
Frankie is I was going to say a dick magnet.
I thought you were going to say a babe magnet. And then I was like, that's not going to work. Dick magnet. That was fine.
Yeah. Why is that the first thing that came to my head? Frankie is a dick magnet.
I don't know if
Tegan knows this.
Does she get men for? I don't know. I feel like girls like, oh my God, she's so cute. But
true. I feel like guys too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, tune in next week to find out. For
sure.
I hope so.
Yeah.
We'll report back next week.
Okay.
Great. I'll do it this week, and then we'll have some.
Great. I have some matches building up that I've just been. I don't know. I've been like, should I just go through the list and invite everyone to get a drink and just see who responds.
See who shows up and
Pick.
yeah.
Well,
Oh.
no.
I thought you were saying
Invite them all to one place.
meet me at Pencil Factory at 8:00 and they all show up.
Just if I would only do that if Kylie was there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That is so funny. I mean, why not? Do it.
Why not?
Yeah.
At least get one.
We need to go on a date. Like, we haven't been on a date in a long time. When was the last time you went on a date?
It's been a long time since I've been on a first date.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Yeah. Very long time since I've been on a first date.
yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. When was
Yeah.
that? When was the last time you went on a first date?
The last time I went on a first date was, it might have been the time, it might have been that horrible one. So has it been over a year? I think it's been over
Which
a year.
horrible one? The lunch date?
Yeah, I think that was, so I did 2 dates in one day that day, and I his was the worst, and then there was another guy that was really nice.
All right. We talked about it on the pod, like one of the first episodes.
But that's actually not true. Then I went out shortly after with another guy who had he had a pancakes tattoo, and we had absolutely nothing in common. We talked about my brother reached out after, and he was like, "How'd it go?" And I was like, "I just talked to a guy about pancakes for 45 minutes."
That wasn't the guy that didn't know who Matchbox 20 is.
That was kind of recent.
Oh, okay.
That was kind of recent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You went to
that was my
Goldie's?
last. No,
Not
we did-
Goldie's. Diamond Low?
no,
Oh.
we were in Williamsburg. The Crake.
Oh, yeah.
We went to the Crake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was. He was I dipped my toe a little younger. I think he was 27. He's 27. His nickname
not that much
for
younger
us
than me.
was the toddler, but I think that he was
Oh,
the
yeah.
toddler because of he didn't know who Matchbox
Yeah.
20 was. He was really sweet. That
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sure.
I also don't want to feel ancient.
I think I went on one date this year. I think the guy that catfished me, I think I told the story on the podcast.
Yeah.
I think that was this year.
That was this year.
It was like early in the year. And that was the one and only day I've been on this year, I think. Can you blame me for not trying again after that?
No, you gotta try again.
And I've seen him back on the apps. Same photos. Like,
Eesh.
someone needs to, like, let
Report it.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have done that. Okay. Let's get controversial.
Let's get controversial. Ba-doop, ba-doop.
All right, you sent me some. I haven't seen these. You
Great.
You take the reins. Wait, did I start the clock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I haven't seen these. This is like kind of new.
And these are not my opinions.
Okay.
I feel like
You
I
found
should
these
say.
on the
I found
internet.
these on the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
Morning people are more productive.
Probably. Yeah, I agree. I think. I didn't give that any thought. What do you think?
As a morning person, I don't think so. Like, don't get me wrong. I get up bright and early and I get a lot of stuff done in the wee hours of the day. But my productivity comes to a hard end around as soon as I get home. As soon as I get home, nothing is happening after I get home, which I feel like people that stay up later do a lot more things later in the evening rather than early in the morning.
I guess it depends. Like for me, like I'm not cleaning at night. I'm not doing that. Like this morning, for instance, I woke up at like 8:15. I vacuumed. I cleaned the litter box. I put away dishes. I worked. Do you know what I mean? But I didn't. When you asked that, I don't necessarily consider myself a morning person. But like, I wouldn't have done any of that stuff like after 5 p.m.
Oh, gotcha.
So
See, I am definitely the most productive in the morning, but I've just always been that way. So I guess I just assumed that people that were up later were just more
and I also
productive.
took it as, I'm sorry, am I boring you? Like morning workout people, like I feel like are better than evening workout people. And because I feel like anytime I work out in the morning, which is like once a year, I feel that day is like significantly better than any other day. And also like I go to Chelsea's gym, as you know, and like I think I've done like 2 7 a.m. classes ever, and the people there are a different type of people than the 5:30 p.m. classes that I go to regularly.
They're consistent, and you can expect the same people every morning.
Yeah.
The 5:30, 6:30 p.m., those people are a mixed bag. They're the people, I mean, you're going to get some consistent people, but you're also just going to get like a bunch of random people that decided to work out that day. But yeah, nobody just wakes up at 6 a.m. They're like, I think I'm going to go work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they usually plan that.
That's a good point.
All right. Next. Nobody cares about the dream you had last night.
I kind of agree with that. Like, unless it like it has to be so good, you know what I mean, or like so freaking weird,
or like relevant.
Yeah, I feel like, and this isn't just about dreams, but like I hate when people like kind of fish for like attention, and they're like, "I had a crazy dream last night,"
and
right. And then like they're expecting me to be like, oh my God, what is it? I'm so interested. Tell me every single detail. I hate that kind of energy. Just like tell me what your dream was, you know? But yeah, I generally probably don't care about your dream unless I'm in it. Or it's like a wild dream. But
do you Google your dreams?
I don't think I've done that in a while.
Oh, I do it all the time.
I mean,
I've had some crazy dreams.
Really? Do you want to tell me about them?
Nope.
But like the ones that are like I have like the reoccurring like I'm falling dream. Oh, I actually had a crazy dream last night. I was being chased, and I don't. That's it. I was just being chased. That's all I'm going to say. Do you want to talk about dreams anymore?
No, we don't have to talk about dreams. But I will say, when people say that they had a dream, I usually ask how it made them feel, because those feelings kind of stick with me throughout the day. So it's kind of like, oh, how are you feeling right now? Are you still feeling like you're falling or you're being chased?
I remember in the morning, I feel like it was a long dream that lasted like throughout my sleep. And I remember in the morning just thinking about it for like a whole hour. I don't think I remember as many details as I did. Like 9 a.m. I remembered a lot, I feel like. Now it's kind of gone. I just remember being chased.
Cool. Thank you for sharing. All right. Next. People who use a ton of emojis are probably annoying in real life.
What do you think?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I think even not just emojis, but even like punctuation, like, or extra letters, you know, like, hey, LOL, you know what I mean?
Sometimes I do the LOL.
LOL. Yeah, me too. I mean, but I'm not saying I'm not annoying either.
Right. And it's only two. It's a niche group. But that is a red flag for me on dating apps. If guys start to use lots of emojis, or if in their prompts they're using lots of emojis, I'm like, I can already tell you're a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Hard stop.
Arguments shouldn't happen via text.
I mean, I agree, but sometimes it's probably the best route. But I think as a general statement, you should probably pick up the phone or meet face to face.
Right. I agree. I think a lot of people argue, and I think sometimes I would have argued, that I can formulate my thoughts into words better via text and kind of get out and say what I need to say. But yeah, I also don't think that I think there's just too much to be misinterpreted.
Totally.
Via text.
100% agree. Yeah, I think, sometimes you can articulate really well, because in the moment, you might not be able to get what you're trying to say out articulate exactly like I'm doing right this moment. But yeah, so I think sometimes in that sense, a text might be better. But you don't get facial expressions, which I think, you know what I mean? Like physical communication is also very important.
And I just feel like people tend to be a little nastier when they're not.
When they're behind a keyboard.
When they're behind the keyboard. Yeah. You, myself included, you tend to be a little bit more spiteful
Yep.
when you're not seeing how it's affecting the other person.
You're like almost more confident and like not in a good way. Whereas like, if you're having a argument in person, it's like easier to be like vulnerable.
Right.
I think.
Great.
I don't know.
I think that was a healthy answer.
That's our pageant answer. Contestant number 1 and contestant number 2. All right, we got one more, which I found on the World Wide Web, and it is not the purpose of life to have children.
Oof.
What do you think?
I don't think it's your purpose in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think. I think you can have. I think every single person could have their own different purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, I have I agree it's not the purpose of life. And because I think what the people who would say that, I think are people who are like, that would be anti like LGBT because they think, oh, gay people can't procreate. So like, you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of conservative people think procreation is the meaning of life.
Right.
And I don't agree. I mean, I think procreation is, obviously really important, but I don't think everyone needs to do it.
I fully agree with that.
And I think a lot of people shouldn't.
Right. No, I
probably shouldn't be here.
I totally agree.
Just saying.
I mean, I'm a mistake. Are you a mistake? Or you said you were planned?
I think I was planned, but they shouldn't. Poor planning.
Well.
Well. I mean, who else is going to have this Dumb and Broke podcast?
Yeah. I think you're meant to be here.
What do you think your purpose is then? To have children.
I don't. Honestly, I think I question that more and more. My purpose, I'm here for the vibes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're a vibe.
Thanks. I think the more...
I think you're not giving yourself enough credit. I think you have a bigger purpose than your vibe.
But I think my vibe is good.
It is
I think
good.
It makes people...
Yeah.
Makes people happy.
Maybe you're just not being specific enough, I think.
I would like to be a good person in the world.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like that's very vague and generic. But
I don't think you need to have like some big purpose like to end world hunger. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. But I also think my purpose is like kind of selfish. Like I just want to be happy and do whatever I want to do.
I don't think that's selfish.
My purpose is not as much about other people.
Yeah. My one of my coworkers, she's like really spiritual, and she like had me do, I forget what kind of test it is. Maybe you're familiar, but I think I'm a projector. And I'm like, she said like a lot of like my purpose in life is kind of to like, in a way, shine my light on others, like and like uplift people and like make people happy, make people smile, make people laugh. And like I like that too, because like as much as I want that too, like it makes me feel really good when like just like making someone laugh,
right?
Things like that.
But I also I don't think you have to have just one.
No, like
I think I'm trying to tread lightly on what I say, but like I think even if you have kids, like your kids shouldn't be your entire life or your purpose. Yeah. Like I think we could have a purpose of being a projector and also have a purpose that is like being present, taking care of ourselves, and or just like giving my dog a good life.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe your purpose in life was to make sure Samson has a good life. And maybe that's...
Are we going to cry today?
Wow, I feel like we got deep on this podcast, like the whole time. I feel like...
Yeah, it was all like happy deep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well...
Anyway, See you next time.